Good morning, dear students. Welcome to today's class. In the last class, we saw about tangent function and inverse tangent function. In today's class, we are going to discuss about cosecant function, secant function and chord function. The cosecant function and the inverse cosecant function. Like sine function, the cosecant function is an odd function and has period 2 pi. If y is equal to cosecant x means what? 1 by sine x. And this is not defined when sine x is equal to 0. Isn't it? Usually the denominator value will be not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it does not exist. So when sine x is equal to 0, we can say x is equal to n pi, where n is an integer. So the domain of cosecant function is R difference set of all n pi, where n is an integer. So when we replace x by R difference set of all n pi, where n is an integer, the value of y lies in this interval. That is minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. We will not get any value in between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay, for example, you can replace it here and see. Sin x, for sin x, if I replace 1 by 2 means, what I will get here? 1 by 2 means it will be 2, isn't it? So here, the range of cosecant function is minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. Graph of cosecant function. In the interval, open interval 0 comma 2 pi, the cosecant function is continuous everywhere except at the point x equal to pi. Why we are taking open interval 0 comma 2 pi is, we saw in the domain the curve exists in R difference n pi, isn't it? So the curve does not exist at 0, 2 pi, pi. So only we are having here the condition, the curve is continuous everywhere except at the point x equal to pi. It has neither maximum nor minimum value. And you can see the curve here. When we replace the value of x from 0 to pi by 2, the y value varies from infinity to 1. Then in the interval pi by 2 to pi, the value of y varies from 1 to infinity. In the interval pi to 3 pi by 2, the value varies from minus infinity to minus 1. Then in the interval 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, the value of y varies from minus 1 to minus infinity. That only we have here. The graph of y equal to cosecant x, where x belongs to open interval 0 comma 2 pi, difference pi. The same curve is repeated for these intervals. Okay, so you can see the curve here. From 0 to 2 pi, what curve we have here? The same curve is repeated in the interval 2 pi to 4 pi, then minus 2 pi to 0, minus 4 pi to minus 2 pi. That only they have given here. And this asymptotes also they have mentioned there. That is difference minus 3 pi, minus pi, minus, that is 3 pi, 5 pi. The inverse cosecant function. Before we saw, the domain of cosecant function is R difference n pi. But here we are taking the domain of cosecant function like this, where the function is bijective. So cosecant function is defined from semi-closed open interval minus pi by 2 comma 0 union semi-open closed interval 0 comma pi by 2 to minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. So since this is the domain and range of cosecant function, for cosecant inverse function, this will be the domain and this interval will be the range. Definition. The inverse cosecant function. Cosecant function is defined from minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity to minus pi by 2 comma 0 union 0 comma pi by 2, and is defined by cosecant inverse x is equal to y if and only if cosecant y equal to x. That is, when this cosecant inverse goes to the next side, it will become cosecant. So cosecant y equal to x, and we take x from this first interval and y from the second interval. Graph of inverse cosecant function. So you see here, the domain of cosecant inverse function is minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. So you can write the domain in this way, or you can write it as or difference open interval minus 1 comma 1, because except open interval minus 1 comma 1, all the other real values we have here. And you see that range here, instead of writing the range like this, you can write it as closed interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 difference singleton 0, because here we have all the values in between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 except 0. So here we have the graph of y equal to cosecant x. Already we saw the graph of cosecant x. Here we have the graph of cosecant x in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And here we have the graph of cosecant inverse x. Arc cosecant x means cosecant inverse x. Okay, you can see in the book y equal to cosecant x we have. So how we can draw this is, you see the domain. The domain is r difference open interval minus 1 comma 1, isn't it? So in between minus 1 and plus 1, no curve will be there. Okay, so you can see this dotted lines. In between minus 1 and plus 1, no curve will be there. Then if you replace this x as minus 1, x value when I replace it as minus 1, cosecant inverse of minus 1 will get. So that you can write it as minus cosecant inverse 1. So minus cosecant inverse 1 means it is 90 degree. So minus pi by 2 you will get. When I replace x by minus 1, when I replace x by minus 1, I am getting minus pi by 2. Okay, so this point I will get. Then the value will be decreasing for other values. And when I replace x by minus infinity means cosecant inverse of minus infinity. It is minus cosecant inverse of infinity will be what? 0. So minus 0. We don't have any sign for 0. It shows that the curve is decreasing and it is very close to 0 in the negative side. Okay, so you can see here this curve will not touch the x-axis. It will be very close to x-axis. Why we are not taking 0 is, here minus infinity is in the open interval place. That is, we don't know the exact value of minus infinity, isn't it? So only it will not be equal to 0. It will be very close to 0 in the negative side. And here you can see the next one. That is 1 comma infinity we have, isn't it? So in the interval 1 to infinity, the value of y, if you see, means when I replace x by 1 here, cosecant inverse of 1. Cosecant inverse of 1 means it is pi by 2. So at x equal to 1, I have pi by 2 value. Then next we have infinity. Infinity means cosecant inverse infinity means it is 0. Okay, so 0 means the value is decreasing like this and it will be very close to 0. You can see here it will not touch the x-axis but it will be very close to that. The secant function and inverse secant function. Y equal to secant x, which is equal to 1 by cos x, is defined for all values of x except when cos x equal to 0. That is, x equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is an integer. Thus, the domain of y equal to secant x is or difference 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is an integer. When we replace x by this value, the range of secant function lies in this interval minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. We know that the range of sine function and cos function are same, closed interval minus 1 comma 1, isn't it? So same way the range of cosecant function and secant function are same, except open interval minus 1 comma 1, all other values we can take. So it is minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. The secant function is neither maximum nor minimum. That is, its value lies between minus infinity comma infinity. So we cannot say what is the maximum value and what is the minimum value. The function y equal to secant x is a periodic function with period 2 pi, and it is also an even function. So the concept of even function I will explain in another one slide. The graph of secant function. Consider the graph of secant function in the interval 0, 2 pi, where x not equal to pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. So why we are taking like this is, in the domain we saw r difference 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. So we should remove odd multiples of pi by 2. So only we took here pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2. In the first and fourth quadrant, or in the interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2, secant function will be positive. In the starting of trigonometry, we have learned all silver teacups. So according to that, first quadrant and fourth quadrant, secant function will be positive. Or you can say in the interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2, secant function is positive. And it takes negative in the remaining quadrant, that is in the second quadrant and third quadrant, or in the interval pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. So here we have the graph of secant function. Actually in the graph of secant function we don't have this red line. What I have marked with this red line will not come. Okay. So when we replace x by before that, what you can see is we said the curve does not exist at x equal to pi by 2 and x equal to 3 pi by 2. So we are drawing a straight line here, x equal to pi by 2 and x equal to 3 pi by 2. It is a vertical asymptote. Then when we replace x by 0, x is equal to 0 means secant 0 is what? 1. So at x equal to 0 we have the curve at 1. Then when x is equal to pi by 2, secant pi by 2 means infinity. So only this straight line we have here, and the value will be increasing like this. Okay. Same way when we replace other values, we'll get this curve what we have here. And how you can remember this curve is like this you can do for cosecant function also. You have to draw the curve of cos x. Okay, draw the curve of cos x. It lies between minus 1 and plus 1, isn't it? So this what I have marked with this red line is the curve of cos x. So secant x will for secant x we have to take the remaining part. That is, you see here from 0 to pi by 2, it is like a parabola which is open downward. Okay, so for secant x the parabola will be open upward. We should not take this region. This you have to take. It is open upward like this. Then you see here from minus pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, the curve is open downward here. Okay, so it is open, that is it is open upward here. So you have to take for secant x the opposite of that. It is open downward. In this form you have to take. Then here from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, the parabola is open downward. In this form you have. So for secant x you have to take the opposite of that. It will be open upward. So like this you can remember. The secant function is periodic with period 2 pi. So what curve we have in the interval 0 to 2 pi, the same curve will be repeated in the interval minus 4 pi, minus 2 pi, then minus 2 pi, 0, then 2 pi, 4 pi, etc. It will be going on, and from each interval we have to remove the asymptotes. Okay, that only we have here. And before we saw about even function, isn't it? Even function means it is symmetric about y-axis. Symmetric about y-axis means if you take a point a comma b, minus a comma b also lies in the given curve. So if I am taking a point a comma b here, then I have minus a comma b also on the same curve. So that only symmetric about y-axis or even function. Inverse secant function. Before we saw the domain of secant function. The domain of secant function is r difference 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. But here we are taking this interval, closed interval 0, pi, difference singleton pi by 2. Why we are taking like this is, in this interval only secant function will be bijective. So secant function is defined from this interval to R difference open interval minus 1 comma 1. And the inverse secant function is defined with this as the domain and this value as the range. Definition: the inverse secant function is defined from R difference open interval minus 1 comma 1 to closed interval 0 comma pi difference singleton pi by 2 and is defined by secant inverse x is equal to y whenever secant y is equal to x. And here the x value is taken from this interval and y value lies in this interval. Graph of inverse secant function. Secant inverse is defined from R difference open interval minus 1 comma 1 to closed interval 0 comma pi difference singleton pi by 2. Already we saw the graph of secant x and here we have the curve secant x in the interval 0 comma pi. And now here we have the curve secant inverse x. You see here the domain. The domain is R difference open interval minus 1 comma 1. So the curve does not exist in between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay. So you see here this line is x equal to minus 1 and this line is x equal to 1. And the curve does not exist in between minus 1 and plus 1. Now when we replace x as minus 1. Okay. So minus 1 and plus 1 will be in the domain. When I replace x by minus 1, what I will get? Y equal to secant inverse of minus 1. So secant inverse of minus 1 means when there is negative value for secant inverse, you have to write it as pi minus theta. So pi minus secant inverse 1 you will get. That is equal to pi minus 0. So pi you will get. Okay. So at x is equal to minus 1, our y value is pi. Then the value is decreasing like this. And when we replace x by minus infinity. So if I replace x by minus infinity, we will get y equal to secant inverse of minus infinity. It is pi minus secant inverse of infinity. So pi minus pi by 2 means pi by 2. So when x is equal to minus infinity, the value of y is very close to 90 degree. Okay. Infinity minus infinity and all is not defined, isn't it? That is, it will be going on. So when the value of x is close to minus infinity, the value of y is close to pi by 2. It will not touch this line, but it will be very close to this pi by 2 line. Same way we can see here in the right hand side, when we replace x by 1. So when I replace x by 1, y is equal to secant inverse of 1. Secant inverse of 1 means 0. So only we are plotting here 1 comma 0 point. Then when we replace x by infinity, y equal to secant inverse infinity, that is pi by 2. So here the value will be like this, and when the value of x is very close to infinity, the value of y is very close to pi by 2. The cotangent function and the inverse cotangent function. Cot x is equal to 1 by tan x, and this is defined for all real values of x except when tan x is equal to 0. Tan x is equal to 0 means x equal to n pi where n is an integer. Therefore, the domain of cot function is R difference set of all n pi where n is an integer, and its range is minus infinity comma infinity. That is, if we replace x by any value in this interval R difference n pi, the value of y lies between minus infinity comma infinity. Like tan x, the cotangent function is an odd function and it is periodic with period pi. The graph of cotangent function. The cotangent function is continuous on the set open interval 0, 2 pi difference singleton pi. Since cot pi equal to infinity, we remove pi from open interval 0, 2 pi. In the function y equal to cot x, replace x by some values in the interval open interval 0, 2 pi and find the corresponding y value. Then trace the curve. You will get the curve y equal to cot x. The chord function has no maximum and no minimum value. Graph of y equal to cot theta. The domain of cot theta is set of all theta such that theta not equal to n pi, or difference set of all n pi where n is an integer. Range is equal to minus infinity comma infinity. That is, when we replace x by this value, y value lies between minus infinity and plus infinity. The vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes are at x equal to n pi. That is, x equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, etc. You can see here x equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, etc. It will be going on. X intercepts at x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. That is, when y is equal to 0, what value we are getting for x is the x intercept. Here the x intercepts are odd multiples of pi by 2. That is pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, etc. It will be going on. The period is equal to pi. And chord function is an odd function. Odd function means it is symmetric with respect to origin. The graph what we have in the interval 0 to 2 pi. The same curve is repeated in the interval minus 4 pi comma minus 2 pi, minus 2 pi comma 0 and 2 pi comma 4 pi. From each interval we should remove the vertical asymptotes, that is pi, minus 3 pi, minus pi, etc. Inverse cotangent function. Chord function which is defined from open interval 0 comma pi to minus infinity comma infinity is bijective. So we can define the inverse cotangent function with minus infinity comma infinity as its domain and open interval 0 comma pi as its range. Definition. The inverse cotangent function, that is cot inverse, is defined from minus infinity comma infinity to open interval 0 comma pi and is given by cot inverse x is equal to y if and only if cot y equal to x and y belongs to open interval 0 comma pi. Graph of inverse cotangent function. The inverse cotangent function is defined from minus infinity comma infinity to open interval 0 comma pi. Here we have the graph of y equal to cot x in the interval 0 comma pi. Now you can see the graph of y equal to cot inverse x. The value of x varies from minus infinity to plus infinity and the value of y varies from 0 to pi. Okay, so here I have showed that it is varying from 0 to pi, and this line y equal to pi is the horizontal asymptote. Since x equal to pi is the vertical asymptote here, for the inverse y equal to pi is the horizontal asymptote. And how we can draw this curve is, when we replace x by minus infinity, we will get y is equal to cot inverse of minus infinity. Cot inverse of minus infinity can be written as pi minus cot inverse infinity. These properties we have in the next session. So which is equal to pi minus cot inverse infinity is 0. So you will get 0. That is, when x value is very close to minus infinity, y value is very close to pi. Then when we replace x by 0, y is equal to cot inverse 0, it is equal to pi by 2. So when x is equal to 0, our y value is pi by 2. Then when we replace x by infinity, y equal to cot inverse infinity, it is equal to 0. So when x is very large or very close to infinity, y value is very close to 0. Remark. Here we have a nice way to draw the graph of y equal to secant x or y equal to cosecant x. I am going to explain how to draw the cosecant x curve from sin x. Similarly, you can try for secant x from cosine x. First, we have to draw the graph of y equal to sin x using the table given below. Then, draw the vertical asymptotes at the x-intercepts. X-intercept means the value of x where the curve touches the x-axis. Here, x is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, minus pi, etc. or the x-intercepts. I showed the x-intercept using different color line. For drawing the cosecant curve, first we have to draw the vertical asymptotes. That is x equal to minus 2 pi, minus pi, 0, pi, 2 pi, etc. Now we have to take the reciprocal of y values and draw the curve. Okay. So if you take the same x value and take the reciprocal of this y value, plot it, and if you join the points, you'll get the curve y equal to cosecant x. Principal value of inverse trigonometric functions. Already we saw the domain and range of all the inverse trigonometric functions. Here it is given together in a table. You can write R difference, that is R minus open interval minus 1 comma 1, or R slash also you can put. Example 4.12. Find the principal value of first subdivision cosecant inverse of minus 1, second subdivision secant inverse of minus 2. Solution: cosecant inverse of minus 1 can be written as minus cosecant inverse of 1. So how we are writing this is, we are applying this property. This we have in the next session. Cosecant inverse of minus x can be written as minus cosecant inverse of x if modulus of x is greater than or equal to 1. Here our x value is 1. So modulus of 1 means 1. It is equal to 1. No? So this condition is satisfied. So we can apply this property. Now it is equal to minus cosecant inverse of 1 means it is pi by 2. So minus pi by 2, it lies in this interval. That is, this is the range of the principal value of cosecant inverse function. So after finding the answer, you have to see whether it lies in this interval. Okay. So minus pi by 2 belongs to closed interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2, difference singleton 0. So this is the answer. Second subdivision. Secant inverse of minus 2 is equal to pi minus secant inverse of 2. So how we are writing this is, here we are applying this property. Secant inverse of minus x can be written as pi minus secant inverse of x. Okay. That is, whenever we have minus sign for secant inverse, cot inverse or cos inverse, we'll write pi minus. Okay. So for secant inverse, cos inverse, cot inverse, we will write pi minus. So here we have pi minus secant inverse x if modulus of x is greater than or equal to 1. Here our x value is 2. So modulus of 2 means 2. It is greater than or equal to 1. So you can apply this property. It is equal to pi minus secant inverse of 2 means it is pi by 3. So it is equal to, take the LCM and simplify, 3 pi minus pi means 2 pi by 3, and it lies in the interval, closed interval 0 comma pi, difference singleton pi by 2. And this is the range of the principal value of secant inverse function. Example 4.13. Find the value of secant inverse of minus 2 root 3 by 3. Solution. Secant inverse of minus 2 root 3 by 3 is equal to secant inverse of minus 2 by root 3. That is 1 root 3 you can cancel. So you will get minus 2 by root 3. Which is equal to pi minus secant inverse of 2 by root 3. Here we are applying this property. Secant inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus secant inverse x
if modulus of x is greater than or equal to 1. So here our x value is 2 by root 3. The modulus of that will be greater than 1, isn't it? Because root 3 means 1.732. So 2 divided by a value which is less than that means it will be greater than 1. It is equal to pi minus pi by 6, that is pi minus, if you know the angle for a secant, that is the angle whose secant value is 2 by root 3 is pi by 6. Otherwise what you can do is you can write it as cos inverse. When you write it as cos inverse, you have to take the reciprocal of this. Cos inverse root 3 by 2 also you can write. So cos inverse root 3 by 2 means the angle for which whose cos value is root 3 by 2. So it is equal to 30 degree, that is pi by 6. Like that also you can write. So pi minus pi by 6 is equal to, take the LCM, 6 pi minus pi means 5 pi by 6. It belongs to closed interval 0 comma pi, difference singleton pi by 2. And this is the range of the principal value for secant inverse function.
Example 4.14. If cot inverse of 1 by 7 equal to theta, find the value of cos theta. It is given cot inverse of 1 by 7 equal to theta. So if cot inverse of 1 by 7 equal to theta, you can take this cot inverse to the next side. So cot theta is equal to 1 by 7 we will get. You can take the reciprocal of that, that is tan theta. Tan theta equal to 7 you will get. So tan theta means it is equal to what? Opposite side by adjacent side, isn't it? So 7 can be written as 7 by 1. The opposite side is 7 and the adjacent side is 1. So if you know two sides, you can find the other side, isn't it? It is the hypotenuse, and this hypotenuse is equal to root of 7 square plus 1 square. So 49 plus 1, it is equal to root 50. It can be written as 25 into 2, isn't it? So 5 root 2. That only I have written here. The hypotenuse is 5 root 2. Now you can find the value of cos theta. Cos theta is equal to what? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. So 1 divided by 5 root 2. Example 4.15. Show that cot inverse of 1 by root of x square minus 1 is equal to secant inverse x, where modulus of x is greater than 1. Solution. Let cot inverse of 1 by root of x square minus 1 equal to theta. From this you can say cot theta equal to 1 by root of x square minus 1. So cot theta means it is adjacent side by opposite side. Okay. So adjacent side is what? 1. Opposite side is root of x square minus 1. Now we have to find the hypotenuse. So how we can find? It is root of the square of this value. When we square this, the square root will go. So x square minus 1 you will get, plus the square of this side. 1 square means 1. Okay. So now 1 and minus 1 you can cancel. You will get root of x square. It is equal to x. Since it is the length, we will take only the positive value. So you will get it as x. Now we can find secant theta from this. Secant theta is equal to what? It is cos theta means adjacent side by hypotenuse. So here hypotenuse by adjacent side. It is x by 1, which is equal to x. From this, there is a secant theta equal to x means theta equal to secant inverse x, which implies theta means what we have in the question. That is this only we took it as a theta. So instead of theta you can write cot inverse of 1 by root of x square minus 1. It is equal to this secant inverse x, and where modulus of x is greater than 1. Why we are writing modulus of x is greater than 1 means if the value of x is less than 1. If the value of x is less than 1 means here you can replace it and see. Example, if I take here 0.5. 0.5 the whole square is 0.25. 0.25 minus 1 means it will be negative, isn't it? Inside square root we cannot get negative value. So only we are writing modulus of x is greater than 1. Max homework. Exercise 4.4. first sum and second sum. Thank you, students.